for each of us, as promised.
A third of 500,000 credits. Can't you just taste it? I think I'm gonna head straight for Neon with my share, put myself up at the Hotel Voli, and blow a shitload of money at the Astral Lounge. You'll come with me, won't you, Larry? I don't want to spend all that cash alone.
Of course, my darling. I can't think of a finer way to spend our time together. Oh, look, I'm gonna lay this all on the line. You have 2 more weeks to make this happen, or we're gonna have a problem. 2 weeks to Roski. That's it.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation. Excellent, excellent. So, before we begin, let's review the facts. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. I pride myself on having an intensely thorough education, though I'd hardly call myself a professor. Though I'm sure that your compliment also meant you were having trouble understanding what I've been saying. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
Will there be much more of this? My head is starting to hurt.
Oh, it was actually a rather easy deduction to make. It's the only thing of significant value that I still have in my possession. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you. It sounds like we have a deal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin 2 very annoying business associates. Good day. No!
All passengers,
Please!
may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship...
Well, I'm uncertain what you... Au contraire, my misguided friend. There's a bargain that needs to be hammered out, and you will listen to the facts before we proceed. First, it's clear that you've obtained... And second, I'm going to since we're speaking and I'm not... I see. Well, that certainly plays... In blunt terms, I assume that's...
Will there be much more of this?
Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice.
All
Though,
passengers,
Larry Dimbro...
May I have your attention, please?
Well, I'm
The captain
surprised
has
you even
declared
told...
a ship-wide
The last thing
emergency.
I'd want...
Please report to your cabins in an orderly
Splendid.
fashion.
It appears
and
we've
remain
reached
there
an...
until you receive
Oh, of
further
course I trust you.
instructions.
Now, if you'll excuse me...
You have my attention.
No. Please.
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
You're not taking my ship! Am I hearing things?
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you...
Did you need something? Need to see what I'm carrying? Ah, yes. We are done.
Well, I'm uncertain what... No! Please!
What was that?
No!
Best not to leave anything useful behind.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
You again? I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
I'm gonna make a break for it. I'm out of here!
Couldn't resist the urge, could you? All hell's breaking loose across the Siren, and the UC's on its way. We don't have long. Well, this isn't the road I would have taken, but hey, you got the job done. You're crazy. You know that? Don't let it bother you. It comes with the territory. You're in the fleet, Rook. No mercy, no remorse.
All passengers, may I have your
I'm
attention,
glad you feel that.
please?
Just remember
Captain
to...
has
You
declared
know,
a
I'm still
ship-wide
wondering exactly
emergency.
what you needed
Please
those
report to
credentials
your
for.
cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive
So he
further
told you to keep it
instructions.
from me. I see. I wouldn't want you to risk your position. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from... I owe you one, Overreach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call... Nonsense. If there's one universal constant you can depend on. All right, we better get out of here before Trident...
If you Worry-free separation complete. Could we talk? Nice jump. We're right on target.
This is United Colonies Space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. Scan complete. Go ahead and land.
Through it one more time.
You can over-rehearse. It'll sound
The
canned.
lives of nearly every individual in the settled systems are so heavily influenced by what goes on in this building. Can we speak for a moment?
Hello. Welcome to the... the Galbank Archives. May I see your credentials, please? Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dombrowski. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. Me? No. Look, this is my first day on the job. Just cut me some slack, okay? I can't afford to lose it. I got a wife and kids to feed. Everything checks out. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. There we go. Have a wonderful day.
Good luck out there.
I do hope
I
you're
mean-
taking advantage of our remote transaction benefits.
Got anything? Hey, what can I do? Okay, no problem. I'm sure you can find something you like.
any adventure you can fly away from.
If you have the time, I wish to speak to you.
Seals are good, air pressure good. Hey, we're docked.
I have been thinking about what we talked about before. The idea of purpose in one's life. You agreed with me that true purpose can be a driving force in life. I found that comforting, but something has been nagging at me since. I have been single-minded in my pursuits. I have always believed the decisions I made were necessary, that there was no other option. I have sacrificed much to be where I am now. And I'm starting to wonder if it has been worth it. I know. I have told you that I am not one to discuss my past. And yet, no, that is not what I am trying to say. I promised to provide for my family. That meant working with smugglers to procure supplies we could not acquire any other way. I have spent my adult life away from my home, jumping from one planet to the next, living in dangerous conditions, often surrounded by violence. This is true, but I have only experienced my own. I was convinced from the beginning that it was unwise to let anyone get too close. I had, maybe not quite friends, but people I cared about. Yet there was always a distance I could not reach across. I often find other people complicated and confusing. It seemed easier to not become attached, especially when circumstances meant I might never see them again, with no warning. And yet here we are. I find we work better together. What I am trying to say is that I now wonder whether it has been the right decision to distance myself from others. I appreciate that more than you know.
You want to kick back? Avoid the last Nova. Bugs in a funk
Ugh, there are a good many places I would rather be right now.
Next time you see Bog, tell him to lighten up. That's got a real attitude problem.
We may not have official security on the key, but we're always looking out for traitors.
My price, if it's hard to find, we can talk about whatever you want, as long as you got the creds. Don't be a stranger.
If you need credits, hit up the mission boards at the core.
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Yeah, that'd be a first.
All right, Neva, you've made your point. Well, since you're vouching for Rokov, I guess we can give him another chance. All right, now that is out of the way, we can move on to the matter at hand. Crix's legacy. Speaking of which, let me see that data you copied from the Galbank archives. Ah, so the Galbank transport went down over Bannock 4. Bannock. Why does that sound familiar? Neva?
Yeah, keep your panties on. I'm looking it up. And I got it. Bannock 4. Let's see. Damn it. Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. We can't even get a ship near the thing without frying every circuit aboard.
Approaching that in... well, in any ship would be suicide.
Don't know that one, huh? Well, pick up your pencil. There's gonna be a test on this later. EM class means the planet is giving off a ridiculously high amount of electromagnetic radiation. We're talking off the charts here. Fly your ship anywhere near one of these death traps, and you'll blow every single circuit on your ship. You'd be dead in space. Get it? Yeah, sure. We'll just wrap your ship in a ton of copper and launch you right in there. That ought to do the trick, right?
Both of you shut up and think for a second. I'm sure Crix hit the same roadblock. All we need to do is figure out how he got around it.
This sounds like a goddamn waste of time to me.
That's the spirit, Rook. That is the essence of the Crimson Fleet that has been slipping away lately. Neva, the Galbank data says the transport had a CBR-27 transponder. Can we track that kind of thing? Pinpoint its exact location?
That transponder is military grade. We're talking ultra-bit encryption, constantly reshuffling frequencies. We don't have shit like that laying around. But before you get that pissy look on your face, I heard that the UC's been working on a ship signal decryption system called the ComSpike. We grab that little beauty, and we'll be able to track anything you want.
All right, here is the plan, so shut up and listen. Rook, I want you and Neva to put your heads together and get us that ComSpike. I don't care if it's mounted at the top of mast. I want it. In the meantime, I'm going to find out more about this EM-class gas giant problem. And I think I know just who to ask.
Give me a little time to crunch the numbers on the ComSpike with Jazz, and I'll point us in the right direction. I promise. You gonna write that in your diary, little girl?
All right, that is enough. We are in arm's reach of Crix's legacy, and I don't have time to deal with this kind of bullshit. Now both of you get the hell out of here and get to work.
All right, let's get this over with. Follow me. All right, let's get right to it. Did you get the Earth Savior Award, or am I gonna be very disappointed? You couldn't find it.
Wow, Rook. Just, wow.
You had one simple task. Bring me the award. That's it. It's so easy. I could have gotten Jazz's Model A to do the work. Well, congratulations. Not only did you miss out on the award cash, you're also gonna take a hit from your regular pay. That's how things work around here, so you better get used to it. All right, Fleet? We've all got work to do, so let's get to it.
She can show us shit, die twice too. Better get a move on before Dale sees you slacking.
Here to upgrade that ship of yours? Neva's mine, so don't be getting any ideas. She may be a little rough around the edges, but she's just looking out for her own. There's no one better to have your back. Take care of your ship, she'll take care of you.
Hail acknowledged. You're clear to dock at docking port 1. The commander will be waiting for you in operations.
Hey, Dad. Want to hear a joke?
Sure. We're docked.
Who can jump higher than a skyscraper in New Atlantis?
Yes? Howdy. Sir, if I may speak freely.
We'll keep
Is
the
there a
brig
reason for the
ready
harsh
for any
reprimand?
pirates you bring in.
As far as I know, I just tracked a little money.
Really? I know you were headed to the key, but I didn't realize you'd actually get a chance to visit the lock. I almost respect the fleet for doing that. They're trying to pass down their history, or their version of it anyway. And how many times has he done that previously with other recruits? No. I'd say this was 1 part scavenger hunt, 3 parts history lesson. But all that aside, give me your honest opinion. What were the conditions like? I was afraid of that. I think I'm starting to fully realize the hand we played in all this. Truth be told, my ancestor was a guard on Suvorov. Part of the reason I joined SysDef was to find out more about his experience, and whether the history books told the whole story. Which is why I'd like to hear Crix's side of it.
if just to confirm what you saw. Soldier, have you ever heard of trenchfoot?
Can't say that I have, sir.
Well, they say guards on Suvorov would sometimes trudge through cold, frost-wet trenches on their daily patrols. Prolonged wetness.
Apparently, when freezing to death, one may experience a warm, cozy feeling. I would prefer not to verify that.
Excuse me.
The commander isn't gonna be happy about...
There you are. We need to talk, right now. I heard about that little stunt you pulled on the Siren of the Stars. Opening fire on a Starliner? Are you out of your mind?
Trident is furious at us right now. They want Commander Akande to resign.
You always have a choice. People have died because you were too stubborn to find a safer solution. This is not how UC SysDef operates. If you do it again, you're off this operation, and I'll have to throw you in the brig.
It'll be my pleasure, sir.
All right. I think we're all in agreement here. So let's get back to the operation at hand. Speaking of which, I assume you copied the information from the Galbank's computers. Let me see what you got. So the legacy went down at Bannock 4. Bannock 4. Why does that sound familiar, Toft?
Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant, sir. There isn't a ship in the fleet that could safely get near that type of world. Good. That should slow them down for a while. You're doing exactly what we told you to do. What, do you think we're stupid?
All right, calm down, Lieutenant. Even if Delgado has an immediate solution to the EM problem, there's still the matter of tracing the Legacy's transponder signal. They have information about the comm spike? Damn it.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that device, sir.
No, you shouldn't be familiar with it. It's a highly classified project. It's an advanced signal decryption and tracking device that the UC Navy's been working on for years. How the hell did the Crimson Fleet find out about that?
There must be an information leak somewhere, sir. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'll see what I can find out.
Fine. This is what we're going to do. You keep playing along and go after the comm spike. Lieutenant Toft and I will see what we can find out about Bannock 4. I don't see the point. The Crimson Fleet apparently has a pipeline of information flowing from somewhere within the UC military. Any attempt to move the comm spike would be a waste of time. We need to play this close to the vest. My superiors are stubborn. They aren't going to authorize an attack on the key based on my flights of fancy, I've been told. We need more evidence that all the Crimson Fleet's plans will result in them actually getting their hands on this fabled cache of credits. Perfect. Just stick with the plan and we'll see who gets to Krix's legacy first.
This mission is going to require discretion on... Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find. Nice work. Let me take a look. Tisk, tisk. Looks like Mr. Rokoff lied on his application to Trident Luxury Lines about having a clean record. No matter. Next time he jumps from the key, we'll have him picked up. That will be one less fleet captain for us to worry about. Anything else? We'll be here if you need us. Anything new to report? I'll be here if you have any more questions. It's good to have you back. What can I do for you? Good. The more you find, the stronger our case. Are you kidding me? Dombrowski was already making a six-figure salary, and yet he couldn't resist starting an embezzlement scheme. It makes me sick. Ah, it's gonna be an absolute pleasure to throw his butt in prison. Have any more? All right. Keep up the good work. They're pirates in every sense of the word. But they've managed to get more organized under their current leadership. That makes them especially dangerous. But hopefully it makes them a little more predictable, too. We'll provide you with information, but any inventory or ship services, it's best you get from the fleet. It'll help you maintain your cover and also give you an idea of how the fleet's operation works. I know as much as you do. I wasn't briefed on this particular device. But if the fleet wants to trace the Legacy's transponder signal, they'll need something beyond the decryption tech we have currently. If such a device exists, it's likely being developed by the UC. That information is classified, so even what I do know, I can't divulge. Now, I realize as part of this mission, you'll probably end up finding out anyway, but that's besides the point. For the sake of your cover, it's best you work with whatever information the fleet gives you. 2 reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, this is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that you care. It's just that I don't feel like now's an appropriate time to be discussing these things. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? Let me know if you need anything else.
If these missions keep going sideways, I don't know how much longer the commander can vouch for you.
Airlock integrity looks good.
The fleet is family. Stealing from each other is just what you call a professional courtesy.
All right, Jazz. What do you got?
According to the latest, the comm spike is being developed at UC Star Station SY-920. Location undisclosed.
Fantastic. So how do we disclose it?
We could lean on your smuggling contact. Call in that favor. You know who I mean.
Our friend on Jemison. Nice one, Jazz. I'll make the arrangements. All right, Rook. Next stop, New Atlantis. Your connection is Juan Dayu. She's got most of the premium UC smuggling routes locked down tight. If you don't piss her off, she should be able to sneak you past SY-920's security.
Just remember to count your fingers after you shake hands with her.
She would be wise to do the same.
I sure hope so. Because she might be our only crack at finding a decent decryption device. Once Juan gets you past the guard dogs, it's gonna be on you to locate the comm spike. According to the data we have, it's in the prototype phase, meaning there should only be a single device aboard the station.
Basically, you break it, you bought it.
You'd better. For your sake. Oh, and one more thing. SY-920 is a UC military installation. That means it's guarded by heavily armed troops. And we both know those idiots don't mess around. If you intend to turn the place into a shooting gallery, you might want to be sure you're hauling an arsenal, because you're gonna need it. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'm gonna arrange a meeting with Juan at Kay's place in the well. In the meantime, I'll make sure Jazz comes up with a solution to the electromagnetic atmosphere problem at Bannock 4.
Oh, okay. You'll make sure? More like, get drunk while Jazz does all the hard work. Typical.
Privileges of rank, my darling. We'll discuss it a little later. And you, get the hell out of here. And don't come back without that comm spike in your cargo bay. The Crimson Fleet made contact with her about a year ago. We were searching for a smuggling connection in UC space, and her name kept popping up repeatedly, so I decided to put her to the test. Not only did she pass, but the results were off the charts. Made us both a ton of credits. That was good enough for me. Beyond that, I don't know much about her. But hey, as long as she keeps my gal bank account humming, she can keep all the secrets she wants. I'm gonna leave that up to you, Rook. If you get into deep trouble and you think bringing her into the fold is gonna make the difference, tell her whatever you want. At some point, Delgado's gonna be promising everyone their cut of Crix's legacy. If we want him to stick with the fleet, it's inevitable. But until the money's within reach, the less people that know, the better. Stay sharp, Rook.
If you want to stay under the radar, I've got just the thing. Assuming the technology works, it's a skeleton key for signal encryption. If what they say is true, ratchet encryption, signal protocol, frequency shuffling, even quantum state keys can be hacked. Now, I doubt it does all that, but it should be enough to crack the CBR-27 transponder that Galbank installed on the Legacy. Truth is, the fleet rescued me. Of course, I wouldn't have needed rescuing if they hadn't blown up the ship I was working on. Delgado plucked me out of space and brought me to the key. I took one look at the place and was compelled to work. Soon after, he offered me a permanent spot with the fleet. You mean way back then? Before the tech was available to create something like the comm spike? That's a good question. I suppose he might have been able to acquire the actual transponder cipher from someone within Galbank. Unfortunately for us, I'd bet a bottle of Bog's finest that those records are buried somewhere out of our reach. If you've got the credits, I've got the time. Oh, yeah, nothing like changing it up to make a ship feel new again.